I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to all across the Delaware Valley. It is Tuesday, October 29th. We got a couple more days and it's Halloween Day. That's right. This is the Anthony Gargano Show presented by Rite Aid. RiteAid.com to find the nearest neighborhood pharmacy near you. Don't forget any of your scripts, flu shots, Halloween candy. Rite Aid is your place, your neighborhood pharmacy. All right, let's talk about we're going to start, obviously, birds, because at 5-2, we always do the sleep on it. And what did you see after a nice Monday night sleep? You start off the new week in the NFL with fresh eyes. So we arise this morning. We look back at Sunday, and it looks as golden as it did yesterday. Yeah, right now, it feels like the coaching staff has not just steadied the ship, but it feels like they've gotten like a direction. They figured out kind of who they are, what they should be running, right? And that's kind of what I see. So they're 5-2, and it's a good time because it's week 8. It's actually week 9, but week 8 because the Eagles had to bye. But week 8 for them, kind of coming into it, and you figure out, all right, well, let's figure out where they stand. And so I look at it, and I do. I think the coaches, we'll look at the coaches first. Obviously, we remember the rough patch and how all the talk about Sirianni and getting in his own way and all that stuff. Well, it feels like they've really figured out, Kellen Moore has figured out, along with Nick, because if you're going to rip Sirianni for the offensive struggles earlier, you got to give him credit overseeing them, right? So I look at this offense, and I figure they look at what they're doing, and I think they're doing what they believe is what this team does the best, right? The strength. They're focusing on the strengths of their team. Obviously, A.J. Brown, right? Barkley. What we saw Sunday was a really good, strong, solid game plan. You have a really good offensive line. Even losing Mailata, that's where Stoutland comes into play. He's able to keep that line together. Jalen played really well, as we talked about yesterday. The offense looked great. It looked like a kind of how we wanted to. Look, 37 points. We wanted an offense that approached 30 a game, and you got 37 on Sunday against a team that had to win. That was an impressive victory in that the Bengals needed to win the game, and they're used to going on a run, right? They're used to this. They've done it before in the past a couple times where you get up to a slow start and then you get hot. So that was a team that you went on the road and won, and their offense looked good. Like they instituted a fullback. I've seen the changes and how the offense has grown over the last couple of weeks. I think is a good place. That, and you got a veteran in Vic Fangio, and I think he's got the defense in a good place. Look, they obviously need pressure off the edge. You're not going to get that now, even in lieu of a Trout who's out there that you can get. But that's not really what you need to win right now, knowing that this is who you got. And I think they're getting a ton of production on Jalen Carter. And the kids have solidified the back end. We've seen the Kobe Dean play well, right? We've seen Nolan Smith take strides off the edge, so that's a good thing. I think Fangio has the defense in a really good place. Like, having the back end, that showed me something. And I know people say, well, there's no T. Higgins. Listen, Jamar Chase and everybody else on that Bengals team, that's a good offense, right? And they were able, I thought, to when it really needed to shut them down, they shut them down. And they played, having those kids back there, Mitchell and DeJean, just make that secondary. And they're going to need it. And Isaiah Rodgers, too, because Isaiah Rodgers is going to play a big part in the future here, the near future, because Slay has to get an MRI on his groin. So that's a big deal. I got to tell you, I really like where they're at defensively. And I think today I want to focus on the coaching staff because, listen, early on when the defense was leaking oil in a bad way, we were all over them. I was. Early on when the offense was sputtering and the head coach has histrionics, right? When Nick is doing that, we were all on him. I think it's a time to kind of reflect on the coaching staff. I think Sirianni, they look buttoned up. They got rid of penalties. He's stabled. So let's dive into this thing. I got to go to my man because he's a big Nick critic. VG, violations, Greg. Let's look at the coaching staff.
Yes. I'm glad you're bringing this up.
Well, I look at it and I think you see stability. We always want to look at Tuesday, fresh eyes from Sunday. Yeah. And that was it. I keep going back. I saw the tape. That was a good win.
Great win. It was the best Eagles game, I don't know, maybe since they started sputtering last year.
Yeah.
They looked all around good. Nick, ever since that kind of bad, rough week, he's gotten it together. He's not causing a distraction. He's not trying to be the story. Seems like the guys are like playing for him. They like the Travis Bickle look and vibe. And the defense, man, like you're bringing up Fangio. Since the bye week, I saw this. The defense is first in points allowed, yards per game, defense success rate, second in sacks. I don't know what EPA per play is allowed, but they're second in that. And also, I think we should I had to look these guys up. Christian Parker and Roy Anderson. Christian Parker's the defensive backs coordinator coach, and Roy Anderson's the cornerbacks coach. What they're doing with the rookies is ridiculous. So I think there's a lot of props to be given out, man.
Yeah, and it's a good time because we're approaching the middle of the season. And when you look, we'll start, and that's why I wanted to start with the coaching staff because, 2-2, and things did not feel right. Obviously, Cleveland and the Giants were who they are. You come back, you string 3 wins together, and including that one on the road, you're going to have Jacksonville Sunday. Really good chance you win that game. Now, all of a sudden, you strung a winning streak together.
Yeah.
And so much has to do with, I think, stability from the coaching staff. That was missing last year during the great slide of 23. That was missing, right? The 2 young coordinators, first-time coordinators, could not stop any of the bleeding.
No, they were just poking their fingers in different holes in the dam and felt like panicking all around and no one had any answers. This seems nice right now. I mean, there is a part of me that's like, I think they're going to roll this week in Jacksonville, but, then coordinators will see the adjustments Kellen Moore's made, and we'll see, how he adjusts to what defensive coordinators do. So I'm curious to see how that plays out.
I like what I like where how the offense looked on Sunday. I thought Hurts looked his best all season long, right? Like, using all parts of the field.
Yep.
You're using your weapons. You got Barkley. Like this offense, again, with the way it's constructed, this offense should roll, should score a ton of points.
That's what we said going in. And I mean, that's what we got this weekend. And the T. Higgins stuff, dude, we're missing Mailata, Becton, and Goddard. Like, it's not like the Eagles are 100%.
Exactly. I didn't want to hear that. I brought that up yesterday I was a guest on a national show, and I brought up how the Eagles are. Well, about how impressive the win was against Cincinnati. Well, there was no T. Higgins. Like, so what? Like,
right.
All right, guys.
You had Chase.
Yeah.
You didn't do much.
Right.
Chase better than T.
I mean, you had your weapons. You got Burrow. Like, your offensive line's intact. What more do you want? I don't know. I looked at that win, and I was just very impressed by kind of how it all played out. And I really like where they're at. Like, I like the approach. There feels like a calmness. Whereas 3 weeks ago, it felt like they were going to capsize.
Fire alarms going on. Like,
It felt like they were going to capsize. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And look, I don't know if it's Nick, and I don't know if Nick.
You got to give Nick credit for it.
You have to. And I don't know.
And I'm not a big Nick guy.
I don't know if Sirianni also was taking a lot of shrapnel. So while it was a work in progress.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It didn't feel like that. It felt like.
Well, here's where I could make the argument. Because he kept saying, that was my call. Every bad call, he jumped in front of the bus. Now, it was not accurate.
Yeah.
That he's not calling plays on defense.
Yeah.
Like, you knew that wasn't accurate. But
if that was accurate, we got a real problem.
He was standing on his head a little bit.
Yeah.
To try to take away some of the attention.
Well, I feel like he is not. I don't think he's the greatest when adversity hits, and I don't know that he quite knows how to handle that in front of the microphones. And he tries to say too much and justify too much. But since he did his thing, man, where he had to come out and apologize, and he seems like a good dude. He seems like a better guy right now. He's got it together and chill and good energy. So
there you go. I mean, head coach,
good
energy. CEO coach, you need good energy, right?
Yeah.
Everyone was watching Tomlin last night against the Giants. There was a great moment, and it was at halftime where he was about to do the halftime interview, and she asked him, against Clarissa Thompson, says, "Hey, are you frustrated?" Actually, it was Pam. No, it was not Pam. Whatever.
Yeah, whoever.
I always like to get it right, but I forget. Anyway, it was like, hey, are you frustrated by the first half and getting 3 field goals? And he's like, nah, man, it's football.
Yeah, football. Field goals are part of it.
Listen, it's football. We just got to finish the drive. We're good. We're in a good spot. And, lo and behold, second half, they finish drives and you win the game.
Yeah, for all the Gen X and boomers out there, he's like the Fonz of coaching. And I don't even know if it's real. If he was actually looking at the camera, they threw that long ball and he catches giving a thumbs up. Is he really looking at the camera? Who's he giving that thumbs up to?
He's the coolest. Tomlin is the cool. He really is. He's the coolest. But like that CEO, and that's what Sirianni's been doing over the last couple of weeks. So you got to give him a lot of credit. They feel like a legitimate contender. Now, obviously, the Lions are the Lions. And you and I were talking about a pre-show with Frazier. And I said, listen, they're a contender. And you go, well, Lions. And I mean, it's clear the Lions are the best team in the conference. But sometimes what happens in October doesn't translate to January and February, mostly because of injuries. But teams they can go astray. They can go askew. That's part of a long season.
Yeah, and we're going to see, I guess McCaffrey's coming back, so the Niners get a little healthier.
Yes.
But I mean, I think they're right there with the Niners, right? I mean,
listen, you got these teams.
Without
you got
an
Lions,
injury, the Lions.
You got Green Bay.
Yeah.
You got the Niners, right? I mean, I actually think the Rams are pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I've said that for a while. I think they're going to get healthy and right. And,
in Minnesota, still, I love their defense. And I think the Eagles.
No one's buying Sam Darnold,
right?
I can't.
But I think you got those teams are in the mix. I don't know about Washington. I'm not gonna. I love the kid. The kid's got magic to him, right? Like Jaden Daniels, there's some magic that after the whole.
You don't want to say destiny with that, but it feels like there's
magic, right? Like there's magic. And again, a lot of times this is like it's the first year. New regime. You got rid of all the bad karma from the past, right? And so they're having a moment.
And they added such great karma with Saquon.
Right.
He's such a good human being and stuff when you hear him talk.
Saquon.
Yeah. Saquon Barkley.
No, I was talking about Washington.
Oh. They got rid of all that. Yeah.
They had Eagles didn't have bad karma. This team had the Washington had horrible karma.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Well, look at the Texans last year. Same thing. CJ Stroud comes in. They really show themselves.
Right.
They have a great season. They get to the playoffs. So like the Commanders are kind of similar to that
That's
of
a
last
great
year.
comp, Andrew. It's a great comp. And you could see them. Now, do I think that they're a Super Bowl contender? No. Do I think the Eagles should be able to win a division just because they've been there. And when you stack it up, Eagles have way more weapons on offense. And I like Washington, and I love the kid.
You can't overestimate, I guess is the word I'm trying to say, is like the impact Gene and Quinion have had.
Dude,
that
I was
elevates
talking to
them
someone
to a
this
whole
morning.
nother level beyond the Commanders.
I was talking about them this morning. I really think that they, especially, listen, Mitchell has been from the jump. He won that job for a reason. He is a polished corner, plays above his years.
Mm-hmm.
He's terrific. And ever since the Genes got into the lineup, you see a difference.
Attitude.
Yes. He's a tackler. I mean, listen,
And like
it's Iowa. That's what they do. Iowa.
That is what
They
do.
tackle.
Yes.
They cover.
Remember those
They play defense.
those games last year, the over-under for the other team would be like 9.5 points.
Yeah.
Because the defense was so
For the
ridiculous.
game, and the offense was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, their over was like 27.5.
Yeah.
No, but that's
But like if the D line, if you have average corners and the D line doesn't get there right away,
you get torched.
So
You get
you got
torched.
guys now that
Mitchell,
yeah.
DeGene, and Rodgers played really well. I think he'll help you without Slay for a while.
Yeah.
I think that's a big deal, and I think you got a real coordinator in Fangio. Like you got a coordinator that knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he was disguising. He disguised his blitzes pretty well, and he was bringing more people last week, which I liked than he did the week before. So I think as this defense catches on, you're just going to see more blitzes and more complicated schemes out of Vic.
Yeah. I don't know that he's never really going to want to blitz and pressure. That's not who he is. But at times I think you'll see a little bit more. I like the steadiness. That's all you really want, because it felt like, again, I'll use the word capsize. It felt like they were going to capsize.
Yeah, and while the boat was on fire, Vic was just calm. He's an old head. He's been through this. He had no panic. He looked like he had confidence he was going to get it together.
Yeah.
And he did.
Yeah. All right. Last night, let's cover last night. The sports equinox last night. That is where the NFL, NBA, MLB, and NHL all played. So we told you about the NFL game, right? Steelers outlast the Giants. Oh, I'll tell you, Daniel Jones.
Man,
stinks.
luckiest guy in the world, that
He
contract.
stinks. Dude, honestly, the Giants should have won the game. If you look at the opportunities that he had, the Giants easily could have came back and won that. There were plays all night long on the field that he missed. He's
Stinks.
horrible.
He stinks.
Yeah, he's terrible. And we talked about Tomlin, how much we love Tomlin. So it was the NBA in action, the NHL in action, and the World Series.
It's amazing if you just make pitchers throw strikes, the difference it can make.
Dude, you're watching the game, and we're all thinking the same thing. We're all thinking about the Phillies. What the Dodgers do is make you throw over the plate.
Mm-hmm.
They force you they force you over the plate.
I hope the Phils are watching. I mean, it's not that hard. Just stay off the junk balls. Dude, let's talk about also, this is a nug later, but I'll just bring it up because we're talking Walker Buehler. Everyone was like, Walker Buehler. He's got 3 World Series starts where he's pitched 5 innings or more, and he's allowed fewer than 5 base runners in all 3. No one else has done that in 3 World Series starts. He's got an ERA of 0.5.
It's wild.
I got to tell you, though, I was stunned because, listen, Buehler was really good.
Yeah.
But ever since he came back from Tommy John, he's not pitched well. I mean, this year, he was very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
I was shocked.
He's a bright lights guy.
I was shocked he shut down that Yankees lineup.
Dude, Judges, what is he, 0 for 12?
Yeah, no, he's
Horrible.
a mess. And remember, he struggled a lot in the playoffs, man.
Yeah.
He's going to go down They're already talking about him being Mr. June.
Yeah.
And I don't know. There's reports John Heyman saying the Dodgers are going after Soto, which would be just nonsense.
How could the Dodgers go after Soto?
Heyman's legit usually.
I know John from back in the day.
And friend of our show, Nightingale, he's saying the Phils are going after Soto yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that one.
If the Dodgers get Soto, I'm just done. Just done. I'm giving up baseball.
Feels like everyone's going for Soto right now. Like,
I think you got
what
three
is
teams.
But if you're the
You got
Yankees-
Yankees, Dodgers,
But if you're the
Phillies.
Yankees, how do you let Soto walk? If you're the Yankees,
He's the only one doing anything right now. Judge isn't doing anything for you in the playoffs.
no,
or
their
the World
lineup
Series.
is not good.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you
Gotta
look at
keep
their
him.
lineup, Torres is okay. He's not even a real leadoff guy. Stanton had a resurgence, but I don't know. He's half cooked anyway. They went after Chisholm. He's a good ball player, but
The meme's coming out of Giancarlo Stanton after he tried to round third and go home. He's so slow.
Ugh.
dude, what if you had Soto? Let's think about this for 1 second. How do you break up those three lefties? Schwarber, Soto, and Bryce. And who's leading off?
Well,
It's
Schwarber is not leading off.
Right, that
You
would
gotta
have
go
to
Trey.
change.
You have to go Trey or
Schwarber?
Stott first.
Schwarber, Trey, no, you can't.
No, you have to go Trey.
There's no way.
Soto lead off?
I heard. Listen,
Soto lead off? Soto, Trey,
I
Harper,
guess you could.
Nick,
And
Schwarber,
then
fifth.
Schwarber?
fifth?
Schwarber fifth.
I mean, is Soto a leadoff guy?
Talk about power.
not really.
Like I heard the night.
But he does
Bob,
get on base.
he is, but he's not real. I don't know. I mean, Turner in this day should be your leadoff guy, but who freak knows? I saw the Bob Nightingale. I love Bob. Bob, I go back years and years with Bob covering baseball. I can't believe it.
I mean,
Could Soto actually be on his way here?
possible.
I mean, he's
I
got
can't
the
believe it.
connections here with Trey and Bryce and Kevin Long. I mean, getting the band back together.
How do you pay
by the
for it
way,
though?
how much money is Middleton going to spend? Right?
That's a
'Cause
lot
if
of
you-
money.
If you, well, yeah, like forget about just landing Soto, right? Just him choosing Philadelphia, because I can see that. How in the world are you going to pay him and Bryce and Turner?
What if they
that you-
moved Casty? That's like $25 million. Schwarber's only here for another year or two, so there's money dropping
You're
off.
probably
You
moving
could drop
more
some
than
money
just.
off.
You're probably moving more than just Cassie. You're probably getting rid of Marsh. You know, you're
Yeah, but
probably.
he don't
he
make
don't
anything.
nothing.
I know, but you're gonna have to free up a lot of space to bring him in.
Well, no, I
And he's
mean,
gonna play that
they're not.
position
Those
anyway.
guys aren't making anything, so you don't have to worry about those guys. The
Yeah.
only two, the guys who make stuff or money is Castellanos and Schwarber
You won't have
and
Walker.
Bryce and Turner and oh my God,
Randy Ruber.
JT.
Randy Ruber's got a lineup: Schwarber, Turner, Soto, Harper, Casty, Stott, Bohm, Marsh, and JT batting line.
Well, what is it again?
Schwarber, Turner, Soto, Harper. You can't have Harper for it. Casty, Stott, Bohm,
You can't have
Marsh,
Soto,
JT.
Harper back to back either.
True, yeah. I mean, you can't two good lefties. You can't have two good lefties back to back.
I never like two lefties back to back. You just feel vulnerable.
Yeah.
But listen, it's a good attempt.
Casper, not our money. Pay whatever.
Yeah, Cass. Listen, God, well for
He
it.
did say stupid money.
Yeah, go ahead. You know, makes a lot of sense.
That's gonna be a bidding war.
Yeah, it is.
It sounds incredible, man. I thought about that for a second. I was like, oh my God.
I'm in.
All right,
Raise my season tickets. I'm in.
coming up, Bo Wulf, all PHLY Bird Show. We're going to talk to Baldy. We're going to talk to Vinny Curry.
Nice.
Look, pumped up. Vinny's doing such a great job with us, with Bo and Zach, and of course our post-game show here at PHLY. I love Vinny. Vinny's awesome.
He's fun on those shows.
Yeah, he's great, and he's got his son who's a quarterback like mine.
Oh, yeah? Nice.
In
About
fact,
the same age? Like,
he's a little younger.
mm,
In fact, I need to go over his house. His backyard is like,
does he have like a training
oh
center?
yeah, yeah.
Hey, you
I
gotta,
was
take, you gotta
jealous.
take Moss.
I know. I'm jealous. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. if I ever like got lucky and hit the lottery, or I don't know, one of my screenplays sold, the first thing I would do is do the backyard.
Cement up the pool and make a training center.
I would have a whole
facility in the
I would. I'd
backyard.
have all kinds of things.
Combine.
Yeah, I'd build a whole shed, like a barn for the weights.
You could start your own
Like
camp.
Segui has, David Segui,
Yeah.
who's our MLB guy.
Yeah.
Phrase. He has he has a house in Kansas City, and he has a barn that's unbelievable. It's all weights and
Does he have
equipment.
a cage in there?
Cage.
Oh, man.
It's unbelievable.
Wow.
I'd be like, boss, all right, quarterback and then hitting all day.
That'd be awesome.
I know.
Cages every day.
Let's go lift.
Do you have like tires hanging from trees in your yard that he throws
I got a
through?
tire.
Do you have a tire?
I have a tire. So that's all I got.
You got the sled too, so you can push
No,
it.
I would have it all done up, man. Kidding me? All right, let's talk about our good friends at Golden Nugget Jewelers. Golden Nugget Jewelers. It's engagement season, right? The equinox it's the diamond equinox. Here's the deal: you got Halloween coming up, and Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then New Year's. The whole thing, all romantic time. It's a great time that we love. Embrace every second of it. And if you met that perfect somebody and you're thinking, all right, I got to get engaged, listen to your cuz, all right? Like I tell you, I always have a guy. Well, Yaron from Golden Nugget Jewelers, 8th and Chestnut, right in the heart of Jewelers Row in Center City. Man, he's the place. He's the guy to go get your diamond. He'll walk you through the process. He'll give you the whole explain it, right? Cut, clarity, the whole thing. He'll give you the setting and put it all together for you. And it will completely work within your budget. He'll make sure of it, and then she'll love it. She just that's the process. Trust it. All right. And then the other piece of it, you always need a jeweler. So whether it's her birthday, anniversary, all right, any Christmas, you're going to get jewelry. So you got them for life, all right? Go to goldennuggetjewelers.com. Golden Nugget Jewelers is where Philly gets engaged.
So if you're like Cuz here and your dream is to get a youth athletic training center in your backyard, one thing you do to save a little money and fatten up your bank accounts, go reach out to our friends over at TrueMark Financial Credit Union. When you join a credit union like TrueMark Financial, you become part owner, which means those profits, they come back to you instead of going to shareholders of these big banks. They got better rates. They got lower fees. They got the same apps and online banking, tech stuff that you get with the bigger banks. They got local roots headquartered in Fort Washington with 24 branches in our Philly area, and they serve our community and our people right here at home. Becoming a member of a credit union has so many benefits over being a customer at a big bank. It's totally a no-brainer. So head over to TrueMark.com/PHLY to learn more about TrueMark and to find a branch near you. That is TrueMark.com/PHLY and federally insured by the NCUA.
All right, my man. All right, now joining us from the all PHLY Eagles show. That's right, we love them. One of our favorites, your neighbor. You can catch him today with Z Berm at 2 o'clock. He's our man, Bo Wulf. Good morning, Bo.
How we doing, cuz?
We're doing good. We feel good. You feel
Finally
good?
got a good performance. Finally got a feel-good win.
Yeah. Let's talk about, because today my whole theme's about the coaching staff, because I think the coaching staff has calmed the waters. Listen, you've won 3 in a row. Yeah, Giants and Browns, you go, all right. You really can't quibble with 28-3. But I think on both sides of the ball, the coaching staff has calmed it down and they found kind of their path to success. Is that correct?
So let's talk about the defense first, because I think that is especially true on defense. Yes. And one of the things that the Eagles were trying to correct this offseason, beyond just bringing in Vic Fangio to run the defense, was they felt that last season, in filling out the staff, they were a little bit behind the 8 ball, right? Because they had to do all of those changes at the end of the hiring cycle. And I think they don't want to throw anybody under the bus necessarily, but they didn't think that they got the highest level of like position coaching last season. And so you bring in Vic Fangio, you bring in all these guys who are very qualified. Clint Hurt on the defensive line, has been a defensive coordinator. Christian Parker, who's coaching the DBs, is very highly thought of. And you see that not like as this defense is coalescing and really coming together, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of stuff about like communication in zones and passing things off with young players or inexperienced players. And they're doing that to an outstanding level. And I think like the level of play that you're getting from Quinyon Mitchell and especially Cooper DeJean, who didn't get to play in the summer and has sort of been thrown into the mix and doesn't just look the part physically, but is diagnosing things correctly in the middle of play. Like that is, I think that is a real testament to the coaching staff. And you also see from Vic Fangio's perspective, the amount of different things that he's willing to try and that are working. And like people are not having all these missed assignments like you saw last season. I think it does speak to like a competency level from the defense, which is what the Eagles were trying to solve this offseason. They wanted to raise that floor, and you are seeing that in action.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I mean, you look, especially, we knew that off the edge they would struggle, right? Like they really struggle trying to get pressure off the edge. And somehow they've been able to mask that. Now, I do like the way Nolan Smith, do you see improvement with the way Nolan Smith is playing? And I just think the back end has really helped everything. I mean, having Mitchell and DeJean changes the way they are. And Rodgers, who I thought came in and played well.
And again, maybe that is a testament to the coaching staff as well. But I totally agree with you. I mean, if anything, the weak spot in the secondary right now is probably C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who has had some missed assignments despite being, other than Slay, the highest paid guy there. I totally agree. And it does help mask a little bit a defensive pass rush that is good, but not at the level that, Howie Roseman has wanted to have his pass rush in the past, especially on the edge, as you said. I agree. Nolan Smith, it has been encouraging, especially from where he was last season and the beginning of this season. A half sack in 3 straight games is not nothing, it's nothing to sneeze at for him. And it's not just, he's not lucking into these sacks. Like the one that he set up in this game where he beats Amarius Mims around the edge, really nice pass rush. And he was also involved in the interception. He sort of forces that pressure there with a good move. Even Bryce Huff, who is not what the Eagles paid for, but is coming on a little bit. You see Brandon Graham continue to make huge plays. I mean, that 3rd and 1 stop in this game leads to the 4th down stop by DeJean, and that's fantastic. And Sweat had a couple really good rushes in this game too. Didn't quite get home, but you're seeing with like the sim pressures that Vic is now like pushing the button on. They've got some different answers in order to like force create some pass rush when they don't have like a Hassan Reddick type where you can just assume that he's going to win one-on-one.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. I really do. Now, Carter, I saw the film. I was like, man, there are plays. It's amazing. You watch certain plays, and he just destroys people. Yes. Now, you obviously want to see it consistency through the game, the whole thing, but just sheer individual plays. There was a handful on Sunday where he just completely destroys people. It's amazing to watch.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard because my expectations for Jalen Carter after the summer that he had were so high. Like I thought he could be involved in Defensive Player of the Year conversation. And you see those flashes. You see him just destroy guys one-on-one. And it's like he's the most talented player on the defense, arguably the most talented player on the team, maybe aside from A.J. Brown. Like that is the ceiling that he has. And he's playing so many snaps, like so many more snaps than he did last season or certainly in college, and more than any defensive lineman has played for Howie Roseman in a very long time. And so you're like, do I need to see it more? But he's also like, he's impactful against the run. And if we didn't have like super, super high expectations, we would be talking about how awesome he is. But it's hard to balance that, right? Like I do want to see a little bit more, but he's getting so much attention as well.
Right? He's getting doubled, dude. Where you watch, you see it. He's getting doubled and tripled. And we also, our expectations, which are probably a little out of whack, are too much splash for an interior lineman. As great as he is.
Yeah. And it's also, I mean, it is year 2. You look at most of the best, the non-Aaron Donald best defensive tackles in the NFL, your Quinnen Williams, your Dexter Lawrence. Usually it's year 3. And that would lead us to the Jordan Davis conversation, which is similar, but a much different scale. Like if Jordan Davis was a 3rd-round pick or a guy who they signed in free agency, you are getting what you want from a early down nose tackle. He has been good. He had a couple of really good plays in this game. And even like a first down pass rush where he's bull rushing the guy into Joe Burrow's lap,
Chase
right?
Brown and Zach Moss, who are good, and they stopped him 17 for 43, and he had a lot to do with it.
He had a lot to do with that, and so like as far as an early down nose tackle, he is a very good player at that. But you have to remember, and it's hard to divorce the value conversation from that because he was a 1st-round pick. They traded up to get him. They took him over Kyle Hamilton, and they said on draft night, if he doesn't become an effective pass rusher, this pick is not worth it. And he is not an effective pass rusher because he doesn't even play. Vic Fangio takes him off the field on 3rd down. He's playing fewer snaps than Milton Williams and Moro Ejoma. So, like, it's hard to balance those two things. But is he a valuable player and an important part of their defense? And when it comes to stopping the run, absolutely. So it's a little bit different, like a wider scale than it is with Jalen Carter. But those guys they're good, but it's not like quite at the expectation level.
All right, let's go to the other side of the ball. Now, listen, Sunday I thought Jalen played really, really well, used the whole field. I love what Kellen Moore is doing, which is he's really simplified the offense. He has made it really basic and has allowed, still runs the ball, has the fullback, put him under center. All those things have really worked. I love the way it looked.
This game was so funny to watch. It was as if games 2 through 6 were just some parentheses that had nothing to do with what they looked like in week 1. And all of a sudden, like the week 1 offense, where you're seeing the effective use of motion, you're seeing some variety in the passing game concepts, and it's not just like one-on-one matchups. All of a sudden, the offense looked like it did in week 1. It was bizarre. It was like, why haven't we seen this for the past several weeks? But this was absolutely exactly what you would want to see from the Eagles offense. I mean, just production-wise, it was the best offensive performance for a Nick Sirianni Eagles team since 2021, since his first season, better than any game in the regular season when they went to the Super Bowl. It was the 7th best offensive performance by any team in the league this season. I mean, they scored on 7 of their 8 possessions. It was fantastic, and they did it in so many different ways, like you said. And it does go to like the roster that Howie Roseman built for them on offense, in theory, was going to give them multiple ways to win, right? If Jalen is not the point guard, top 5 quarterback that you want him to be, you can lean on the running game and you can run behind a great offensive line. And in this game, even with 2 backups, they're doing a good job. And you've got Saquon Barkley. And if you are comfortable letting Jalen drop back and throw, you've got 2 of the best wide receivers in the NFL. That's fantastic. And in this game, there are some mature plays by Jalen where he's turning down the deep shot downfield and taking like the 15-yarder to Grant Calcaterra. And that's what I liked from this passing game, is that it wasn't just all deep shots. You had the deep shot to Devontae. That's fantastic. But it wasn't just, 40 yards downfield or 2 yards downfield. The intermediate passing game is what I was really encouraged by in this game.
What I loved was he was going through his progressions. You could see it. Like, you could see him processing it, going through his progressions. And I thought he played well. And then I just love the way the run game is. Like, that's where it's a basic run. Like, this is where you go, I got a stud like Barkley, and I have a good line. All right. I'll put Jalen under center at times. Play action works, but I can really devote to a run game and give Barkley. They still run a couple of read options. One play fake was off a read option. I guess that was Devontae touchdown.
And I did think that Jalen looked a little bit faster in this game. I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just my mind playing tricks on me, but it did feel that way. You are right. And two things here. One, on play action. By the numbers, the Eagles are, when they run play action, the best offense in football. The EPA per dropback, the best offense in football. However, they only run play action like 28th most often in the league. And so you'd like them to see them turn that needle up a little bit. On on the running game, to me, the most encouraging drive of the game is they're up 27-17. They're up 10 points. They get the ball deep in their own territory with about 12 minutes left. And this is a situation where you know that you want to run the ball. And they bring in Van Sumeren. They go 22 personnel. First play is like a 12-yard Saquon Barkley run. They run it again. And they salt away the clock. They go the entire length of the field. It's an 8-minute drive. That, to me, like, that's big boy stuff. That is, if you want to be a Super Bowl contending team and ice away a game like that, that was fantastic. And I thought, like, the best drive they've had this season, aside from just having explosive plays.
Hey, Bo, now that Nick's gotten rid of the hair, he's focused, he's got this ship righted, everything's
They're
under
3-0
control.
since he shaved the hair, VG.
Yeah,
Don't you think that turned it around?
The whole time. It's so bizarre. But it feels like the way
Anti-Samson.
Yeah, Bizarro Samson. Hey, now that the way the back seven's playing is almost like locked down, it feels like. The only thing they're missing that jumps off the screen is an edge rusher. So do you think, are they going to Howie kick the tires and compete with the Lions, trying to find like a Zadarius Smith or Chase Young, something like that? Do you see that happening?
Yeah, Zach and our show today is going to be trade deadline preview, and I'm curious what you guys think. They have not had success going for, like, that middling option, that just sort of depth upgrade when it comes to in-season trades. You're talking about, like, the Jannard Avery type or even the Byard trade last year did not work out very well. I don't know that they need just another body there, because in theory, if somebody goes down, maybe you let Jalex Hunt get on the field. They've got numbers, but if they could add a stud pass rusher, I'm sure that Howie Roseman would be interested. He's always been interested. Like, that's the most important position to him. But I don't know if Zadarius Smith moves the needle. And I find it hard to believe that, Myles Garrett's going to get traded. But if he was on the market, I'm sure the Eagles would be interested in it. But it's hard to look. Like, I know that Howie wants to make a move. This team could potentially get to the Super Bowl. That's what it's all about. But it's hard to find the spot where they need that kind of upgrade. Don't you think?
I do. Again, the impact player that you want isn't there.
I mean, I just worry that BG, as the season goes on, he's playing out of his mind. I don't know if his body can handle later in the season.
I don't think Chase Young gets moved, and I don't know. It's Darius Smith. I agree with Bo. I don't see the guy, like, if Cros in another plane of existence, if Max Crosby or Myles Garrett was available, then Howie would be in both hands. Let's go. Right. But they're not, and I don't see it.
And then on offense, they've already made their move for a number 3 receiver, and it hasn't worked out very well. Jahan Dotson, it's crazy. It's like he doesn't exist. But I don't think they're going to add anybody there. Like, if you want to trade a late round pick for another tight end, I guess that could make sense. Like, I think they're okay with Gainwell and Shipley as the backups to Saquon. Yeah,
I like their backup.
One thing that I could see how I'd be interested in
another tackle.
No, Bryce Young. Don't you think that's exactly up Howie's alley?
Yeah, it is.
As the new backup quarterback, you trade Pickett somewhere else. Like, let's put him in the quarterback factory.
Yeah, he would do it. I have no, I don't think you can. I don't think you can resuscitate him. No. But I get it. That would be a Howie move. In lieu of that, I'm trying to think. I don't really know what else.
That's the thing. It's like I'm sure he's itching. He wants to do something, but there's not that much to do
in case somebody gets hurt. But there's really not a lot out there. Everybody wants that. No, I'm with you. What is going on with Dotson?
It's wild. I mean, so you have I always look at yards per route run. Okay, there's like 137 guys in the NFL who have wide receivers who have run 100 routes this year. Number 1 in the league, A.J. Brown, far and away the most efficient wide receiver in the NFL. Devontae Smith's like number 17, very good. Jahan Dotson is number 137 of 137. Like, they do not throw him the ball, and it's not even really like Jalen's missing him. There was one play in this game when I watched where I was like, oh, he could have thrown the ball to Dotson there, I mean, he's doing these clear out routes. And to be fair, this is where Quez Watkins ranked over the years. Like in this offense, for whatever reason, Jalen Hurts doesn't throw to the number 3 wide receiver when they're in 11 personnel. No, part of it's because you've got AJ Brown and you've got Devontae Smith. Why would you waste not throwing to them? But it stands to reason that there have to be times when the defense knows that that's what it is. You should be able to spring him for a big play at some point.
Well, here's what my vision was when they got him, because I loved it. I thought, okay, because he could play the outside, like you could move, AJ or Devontae to the slot, and
Devontae especially,
right, and then put you got him on the outside. You put Dotson on the outside, and those deep shots that you took with Quez, there was a couple during the course of the year. There was about a half dozen deep shots to Quez Watkins where he fumbled it, he bungled it, right? Like he would not complete the catch, fall down, not run the right route, not track it. And I thought Dotson would convert that.
I thought so too. Well, I thought they would give him a chance, and we haven't seen that at all. Now, I don't know. Maybe it's because AJ and Devontae are the ones running those deep routes now. But yeah, I mean, it stands to reason that at some point you got to break, the tendency and try to throw one deep to Jahan Dotson. I would think so. He's on the field so much.
I know. How come they don't use? I mean, Devontae once in a while they'll put in the slot. AJ used to run. He used to be in the slot in Tennessee, like time to time. Like it just gives you a different look.
Yeah, no, they have turned up Devontae's usage, especially in the slot. Usually, when they're in 11 personnel right now, they put Dotson on the outside and Devontae in the slot, and I think that's the right move because Devontae is just so good at manipulating space. Like he's the best guy on the team in just knowing where he is on the field and reading coverages.
I agree. AJ's a pure X, but once in a while, that's all. I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's after a game like this, it's hard to complain. But I would like to see just throwing the ball twice a game doesn't seem like a high ask.
Well, I don't know. I feel good. I mean, listen. I think today's about the coaches. And last thing, I know VG brought up Sirianni, but let's talk about Nick for a moment because it feels like he's gotten everything calm, and he is the CEO, right? So if things are calm and you're on a 3-game win streak, he deserves credit.
I think so. No doubt about it. And I said this to Fran on our show yesterday when watching the film. It seemed to me like this was their best play personality of the season. And not just when they go up, 10 points in the fourth quarter and they're going to win a big game. Like throughout the game, you see Saquon doing a little dance on the Jalen draw near the end zone in the first half. You see Lane celebrating the long Saquon run. You see all the offensive linemen running down on Will Shipley's touchdown that gets called back. You see Slay dropping a shoulder on an outside run to Chase Brown. Like you saw a little bit more joyous energy from this team than I think you've seen all season long. Point. And I think that matters.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. Bo, great stuff as always, man. What's going on today? So today's a trade deadline preview?
A little trade deadline preview with Zach. He had some travel issues coming home from Cincinnati yesterday, but he's going to be raring to go.
Love it.
Hey, if I'm going to be out and about Halloween night, what kind of candy are you handing out?
You know what? My wife bought the candy, so I haven't checked it out yet. But I'm hoping, for me, peanut M&Ms number one. That's as good as it gets. I like a Snickers. I like a Reese's Pieces.
I'm not a big Reese's Pieces guy.
No,
really?
I like the Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I mean, if you
give me an M&M, if that
right,
that feeling.
Like the
M&M, a plain M&M?
Yeah, plain M&M, same texture.
What are you, 80 years old?
Did I say dots? No, come on.
No, you got to me. The only M&M is the peanut M&M.
No, I do both. But if I want that Reese's cup, if I want that Reese's taste, I just get a Reese's cup.
Right, because you can't. The Reese's cup is the GOAT.
Well, you know what I want is Halloween is good for something that I would never get on my own or happen upon on my own. Like if I'm at an airport and I'm getting on a plane, I'll get myself a peanut M&M sometimes. That's a little hit of protein. That's a good. But I'm not going to get myself a 100 grand or something.
Right.
Like that. So,
love 100 grand.
Yeah.
Take 5. One of those little mini ones. Yeah.
You know what the greatest? The chocolate covered almond is the best.
Yeah, that's the best.
The almond joy.
I love the
Yeah, the almond joy.
no,
that's the chocolate covered
no.
coconut, which is the best.
No, you like that? No,
Yeah.
I like the Hershey bar almonds.
What?
Yes.
Oh, the Hershey bar almonds. Okay,
Yes.
that's not bad.
That's
I
not
like
great.
what's the one with like the little like puffed rice?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, Nestle
The
Crunch.
crackle.
The crunch.
The crackle. Yeah, I
The
like a crackle.
Ah, the
The
crackle's
crackle's good.
That's the Bobo one. The crunch is the good one.
Yeah, you're
Nestle
right.
Crunch.
Yeah.
Crackle's like the Bobo one.
I like the crackle.
Yeah,
I
I'm
go
not a
crackle over crunch.
Nah,
Nestle
nah,
Crunch.
Crunch better than Crackle. Crackle with a K. Come on.
We got to get the crackle.
It's
not Bobo.
It's a ripoff of
Strong.
the Crunch.
They used to have. I
chocolate's
remember.
better.
I don't know if they have them anymore. They used to have the crunch bits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
that sounds
clusters.
Those were good.
Yeah.
It was
Crunch
a
clusters.
cluster.
Yeah.
They got no Crackle clusters. It's Crunch clusters.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you. All right, brother. Great stuff, man. We'll
All
be
right, thanks,
over.
guys.
All right. Thanks. Here he is, Bo Wulf. I like that.
Yeah.
The rice is strong.
It is. Whoever
Yeah,
thought of that?
yeah,
Genius.
yeah.
Let's put some
Well,
Rice Krispies
You
in
know what it
this
is? It's
chocolate.
texture.
Yeah.
Texture's good with the rice.
Mhm.
VG's candy choices.
Oh, you're out?
You grab a
Really?
100 grand bar?
The regular M&M, dude.
Yeah, what's
come
wrong
on,
with that,
what
man?
are you?
Actually, I agree with you, Frage.
Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with a regular old school
Nah,
M&M.
M&M is just.
I mean, they're not my
It's
top
such a-
10, but I'll
it's
eat it.
horrible.
Boring.
It is. It's boring.
The peanut is the way to go.
Yeah, you're gonna go M&M. You can only go peanut.
Sometimes you don't always want nuts
Although,
involved. Sometimes you just want some chocolate.
well, then get a chocolate bar.
Man, it melts. M&Ms never melt. I stick it in my pocket, they never melt.
I'm
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go with a kiss. You want the kiss,
I like a kiss.
Ooh,
dude?
the kiss.
This is what I'm thinking
Right
about.
on the holidays, all kinds of
Dude,
fancy kisses come out.
My Aunt Cookie used to have the Hershey Kiss with almond.
You're a big almond guy.
I love the
Yeah,
almond.
no,
I'm a
Cuz
huge
was an
almond,
almond guy.
man. I love the almond, the pistachio. I'm a nuts guy.
Yeah, all right.
You know. All right. I had to say it. Let's go to our man. He looked great. Let me give him props.
Everyone gave him props.
If you could show that picture of Brad
Yeah, I still have it.
as the Beauty and the Beast, they did role reversal.
Yeah.
The costume party. They took first place. Him and his girl.
Mm-hmm.
He was strong.
Super strong.
Brain.
Brain. Red, the brain finder.
You look good, buddy. You did a good job.
Yeah, you guys
I
really
appreciate the kind words.
Show it.
You guys
let's
were
show it.
legit.
He looked good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. Everyone was blown away in the
Where,
chat.
where did you get that dress?
Yeah. I mean,
It's your
went to
color.
like it is my color, and I obviously insisted on yellow. But no, we went to like a Halloween store in the area, and look, I'm a good sport. If nothing else, I try to be a good sport and go with the flow. Obviously, probably won't be doing it again. But
that's all right. You did it.
yeah, it was for if people had fun and everyone enjoyed the costume. So
You're
something I
a
could.
braver man than I am. I wouldn't have the guts to do that. I
It
wouldn't
was
do it.
fantastic.
Yeah, he was,
No, I'm a good
Oh,
sport. But I got to
yeah.
say two things, guys. I want to say
Real
two things.
quick,
First
Brain
of all,
brought to us by the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. He's the ambassador of the Bet Park Sportsbook app. Yes, buddy.
well, I prefer, and by the way, I love both, but I prefer the Crackle over the Nestle Crunch. I think there's more rice in it or something.
How bad?
No, I'm being
What's
serious.
wrong? You ain't say
No,
Crackle.
I think there's more like little rice pockets in there or something in the Crackle
Yes.
that make it the texture better. It's a better textured bar, in my
You're
opinion.
right.
The race,
You're right,
the
Brain.
race to chocolate ratio is a little too much in the Crackle. They tried too hard
Nah.
to do the crunch.
And
Yeah,
they did it.
I want the
And they did it.
rice.
Mm-mm.
They did. They
Oh,
did
you're
it. They did
spot
it.
on, brother.
You guys are wrong.
Get
And
puff
then
rice. That's the
The
point.
second, exactly, that is the point. And the second thing, Anthony, I remember we talked about this when they did the trade, and I said my fear. And again, they didn't give up much, so it's not the end of the world. But when they traded for Jahan Dotson, I said to you, it's like it reminds me, if you like dated a girl or a guy and you were with that person for years, and you know the ins and outs of what that person's like.
Right.
You can kind of analyze. Okay, this is their
Yeah.
pros, these are their cons. Washington wanted that kid to be good. They drafted him in the first round. They didn't want him to just fail. And they didn't want to trade him within the division and have him succeed. They watched him every day in practice for, 2 or 3 years, and they saw what he was or wasn't. That was my fear. Like it's like if you had a car and it keeps breaking down, it looks beautiful, but it keeps breaking down. There's a problem with the car. That to me, and again, this is whatever. It's irrelevant.
To trade
Didn't
within
cost them
the
a ton.
division, you're right. I mean, that's I remember when Andy
That's
did
all I'm
it
saying.
with McNabb.
Right,
McNabb
but McNabb was exactly, and usually, in my opinion, the team that's doing the trading, unless it's a situation where a guy's demanding a trade, he's like, I'm out of here, I'm done. Like when Randy Moss left Minnesota or whatever, that's a different story, 100%. Or when Carmelo Anthony left Denver, when a star player wants to leave, that's different. But when someone is just there and they want him to succeed, it's like, if the Cleveland Browns would train Deshaun Watson, you'd be like, oh my God, we got Deshaun Watson for cheap. I don't know if you'd be saying that. I'd say, they probably know that this guy really doesn't have it anymore. That's all I'm saying. But again, the cost was worth maybe the risk, but that's why I'm not surprised that it hasn't worked out, just because the team that wanted them to work out more than anyone else gets rid of you and within the division. I thought that was a pretty big red flag.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, sports equinox last night.
Yep.
Man, not good. Yankees go down, right? I loved it. I love Tomlin, man. I got to do Steelers. That was fun. And then you had NBA. How'd you do the NBA?
Yesterday I had a Sengun prop. I think I did his assist and rebounds, which split. I did a Halliburton, which won, and I lost with Terry Rozier. I basically split in the NBA. I had Pickens over longest catch, which I did win at the end, but I also had the Giants getting. I got 7 points. I got to tell you, Anthony, I'm not trying to whine, so you can be some cheese on my wine, but I swear, every single time it seems like when there's a 14-point game and I need the team to go get it 2, they don't get it, and when I don't want them to get the 2, they do get it. And I'm watching that game. I'm like, all right, just kick the extra point. I'll take my tie. I just don't want. And did you see that 2-point play they called?
Yeah, well,
that was almost like anyone.
That was almost like they ran a pick and fence play, but they weren't set. No,
it was horrible.
It was a horrible play. Aikman called it embarrassing, and he was right.
It was embarrassing.
Here's where you lost that game. They moved the ball up and down the field. Daniel Jones stinks.
Well,
he's just horrible. There were plays to be made down the field. Like if he hits, there was one before they kicked the field goal. He's got Neighbors on a crosser. He scores, but Neighbors drops the ball. But the reason why he dropped the ball is he had to slow down. So if you hit him in stride, he scores your touchdown.
Anthony, my favorite saying in life, out of all the sayings in this world, is we all have a choice in this world to either be consistent or to be right. And I find far too many people in life choose to be consistent instead of being right. Daniel Jones is exhibit A, B, C, and D.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones is our guy. We're sticking with him. He's great. He was a 6th pick from Duke. We're right. You're wrong. Who cares that he sucked 7 straight years? That's irrelevant. We're still standing behind this guy. Like, treat him like he was like your kid or your wife or your husband, and they just would not divorce themselves from a bad situation. They chose to be consistent. We took him 6. He has to be good. It'd be like the Sixers. They just kept with Jahlil Okafor or Markelle Fultz for 12 years as opposed to cutting bait after 3. That to me is the biggest problem. It's not just in sports, in life. Always choose to be right over being consistent, because that's what is the bottom line. You'd much rather be right than be consistent. I'll make a pick on a thing.
You're talking about ego. And the biggest
you're
problem
talking about
we
ego.
all have is
you're talking about
putting
ego.
our ego aside and say, all right, well, maybe I didn't see it first. So let me come back and say, all right, well, this is what it is. People go, well, you weren't on board. Well,
exactly.
I should have been on board. Because at that point, they weren't playing well, and now they're playing well. So you can see it.
Hey, I might have been.
I have no ego.
Sirianni. Who knows? He looks good right now.
You have to have no. And when you're doing sports gambling, you have to have no ego. You have to have no, because you really have to say to yourself, who can, listen, I'll be like, all right, I like the Eagles maybe not to make the playoffs or win the division 1 week. And then 3 weeks later, the data has changed. Of course I'm going to change. I'm not just going to stick my head in the sand and be like, okay, I said this 4 weeks ago. That's the way it's always going to be. That's what the New York Giants did with Daniel Jones. They took him 6 overall. They could not get off it. It was just like they were, in their own minds, they were pot committed. And I said to my friends who were Giants fans, we kept talking about Daniel Jones. Bears did the same thing with Mitchell Trubisky for a while. I'm like, you just don't see it. You're so blinded, and it's going to set your franchise back 6-7 years. And that's what happened.
Yep. No, you're spot on. All right. And he plays today, buddy.
Got a couple things for you in the association, Anthony. Rudy Gobert, the gentle giant, over 1.5 blocks. He's gone over this total 67% of the time last year, 2 out of 3 times. We're taking, I think, plus 140 on a bet that's won 2 out of 3 times consistently. Consistently 1 out of 2, 3. Not just last year after year, Gobert gets 2 blocks a game. I'll take plus $1.40, sure, on a bet that should be over 50%. And then I also took Brandon Ingram of the New Orleans Pelicans, Anthony. 18.5 points. The guy averaged 22 last year. He averaged 24 the year before that. Averaged 23 the year before that. 18.5 too light in my opinion. Plus there's no DeJounte Murray. This should be 21.5, 22.5. Way too light.
That's a good point. Who they got?
They have Zion. They have CJ McCollum.
No, who are they playing tonight?
The Pelicans. Oh shoot. Oh my God, I'm spacing because I have my notes. I can't look it up right now. I'm trying to think who they. I don't have it in front of me right now. Because it's if I'm on my phone, if I touch it, it'll mess everything up. But
no, don't worry about it. I'll look at it right now. I was just curious because a lot of times I like to see who you're.
Dallas plays Minnesota. Dallas plays Minnesota. I know that.
No, but if you're playing a
Pelicans are playing the Warriors.
The Warriors.
Oh, the Warriors.
That's good. Big total, 217.5.
I mean, it's just.
It's good.
I just think that he's right up there as their leading scorer. And again, this is the guy who clearly over year after year after year his average low 20s, 18.5 points, by legitimate 3 points too low.
All right, Trash Man.
Trash Man, if you want to make some money tonight, 6-1.
Yes. Yes.
I think they're 2-5. New Mexico State Aggies +9 against the 2-6 Florida International Panthers at Pitbull Stadium in Miami, Florida. Let's go Aggies +9.
You got it. First of all,
tonight.
I love VG. VG's the best. There's no one better in these obscure college football games.
Line's dropping down, man. It came down off 10, down to 9.
The other
It
side,
might be 8.5 by the time kickoff happens.
Oh,
I don't know.
Butler bet, Anthony. Do I small Butler bet between you and VG?
Nah, I don't feel that committed to it.
You can't get into the trash man's world. You can't just jump into the trash world.
I agree with him. I can't. I mean, I'm not Uncle Junior. I'm not jumping into that trash world. That's your route.
That's his dumpster.
Yeah, it's his dumpster. Last thing before I let you run, I was so upset. Your boy, Coach Rule, I was rooting for them so hard to beat Ohio. I actually was legitimately very sad. They came so close. Nothing so close. Nothing would have made me happier.
Dude, they played their ass off. It was,
they did.
They played so well.
I was really sad.
I was talking to the guys afterwards, our one man, his quote was, "Mother, father." It was that close. Mother, father. That's all it was.
It's a good one.
Word.
I like that. I like that.
I know. Great stuff, Brain. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Buddy.
Be good.
There he is, the Brain, Brad Feinberg, our man from the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Coming up in just a moment, it's Tuesdays. It's Baldy. But let me tell you about the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. That's right. My man, he's got it going on, the Brain, all that stuff he gives you, right? You got it right there on the app. Bet Park's online casino and sportsbook got you covered for all the basketball, all the football, you name it. Look, Saturday, you got all kinds of stuff going on with Penn State, Ohio State. Wow. Knicks 3.5-point underdogs.
Wow. It's a noon game, right?
Oh, my God. That's going to be amazing. Birds 7.5 over Jacksonville. Bet more than the score. Player performances, touchdowns, passing yards, rushing yards, interceptions, you name it. And make downtime your fun time so you can play all your blackjack and hot slots and roulette and baccarat like VG. And if you're a new customer and you're down the first 24 hours, you get up to $1,000 casino bonus back. That's it. BetParks.com is all the details. You got to be in PA, New Jersey, Maryland, Michigan, Ohio. You got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, man. If you're like me and Cuz and you got some home renovations to do, it's a stressful, confusing, overwhelming time, especially floors. So many options. So our friends over at Empire Today, they are here to help us out. With Empire Today, you get shop and home convenience. They got the right product for you, your needs, quick professional installation. They're the place to get your new flooring. There's copycats out there, but they're always trying to upsell you. They have options that really shouldn't even be shown to you because they're not good quality. Empire weeds out all those ones and give you a vast array of choices. They've kind of like filtered through and made sure they're all like decent quality flooring. So their philosophy is to help you find what you need, not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitute. They got a virtual floor designer, so if you can't visualize it, they just put it up on the screen and you can see what it's going to look like. It's nothing like the big box store where, they're always trying to upsell you. And they pride themselves on a convenient shop and home service where they help customers shop for floors when they use their floors so they can see exactly what their new floors will look like in their home lighting and decor so that they can make an informed decision. Service on their warranties. If an issue does arise, you can just call Empire. They service all their warranties themselves, and you won't have to track down some manufacturer's phone number or get some third party involved. So if you're looking for some flooring, schedule a free in-home estimate today. All viewers and listeners can receive $350 off when they use the promo code PHLY. Restrictions do apply, but see EmpireToday.com/PHLY for details for your flooring at Empire Today.
Empire Today.
Do you think Baldy has a favorite candy?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's the
I
candy
wonder what
man.
it is.
No, Baldy is his sport. Like in everything he does first class. So if he's giving out Halloween candy, you bet, it's full size.
Oh, yeah.
Strong classic. That's what Baldy only goes one way. That's it.
Dude, what would a tiny bar look like in his massive hands?
Oh.
He's got to give the full bar. It looks like
Miniature.
it looks like Andre the Giant holding a beer.
Right, exactly. This portion of the program brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union. TrueMark.com/PHLY to find out about the credit union difference. All right, let's go. Let's find out. One, the only, Baldy.
Baldy. Oh, let's talk some football. Baldy. Oh, he likes pizza and football. Oh, Baldy.
That's right. Here's the man. So, look good there, cuz. What, you got the shirt on today? A little dress shirt?
I gotta do a little of this stuff today. I gotta put a button down on, whatever.
What are you heading
Whatever.
Are you heading to the Jets?
I am on Thursday night. Yeah, I'll be up there Thursday night, Halloween.
Yeah.
See if they can, put a winning mask on and, find a way to win a game, man. It's been ugly.
So what if you were home and you were giving out candy, what do you give out? Because I'd say you give out the first class bars.
I give out big Snicker bars, not those little things, not those little bites. I give out big Snicker bars. It's not right to a kid to get one little bite of chocolate. I just hand, the big old, like a meal. I probably have 200 of them. So I probably won't be there Thursday night, but I'll have them all set up.
What do? Leave it out? You have somebody there, man in the house?
I don't know if I'm going to have anybody there today or Thursday night. Thursday night's Halloween. But I'll have a setup for the kids. I mean, if somebody wants to take them all, they take them all. But, generally, I have a house that's been – my house is very feng shui driven. There's not a lot of evil spirits there. I have a red door keeping any evils. So generally the kids, even if they are bad kids and want to steal the candy, they know better. So they just don't do it.
Yeah, listen, it is. It's a beautiful vibe. I do feel, when I'm at the house, I feel relaxed.
Yeah.
I feel like stresses just dissipate.
It doesn't live there. My stress doesn't live in that house. No, it's maintenance free.
I half the time I'm like, I want to move in, right, and just commute back to my house.
He is so fascinating. I was talking to him with the pagan this weekend, and his box breathing, his red door, you're almost doing pranayama breathing, all this healthy stuff that the pagan's all down with.
Look at it. That's why he looks like $1 million.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He's the man.
Pranayama, the pranayama breathing through the back of your throat, though. It naturally warms up the body. You warm yourself up the inside out. It's just a great warm up in general. If you're not I was in hot weather in Florida last week, you do some pranayama breathing out there, you begin sweating real soon. And then, so now you're just relieving, all your toxins in your body. They're coming right through your skin.
See that? Are you kidding me? By the way, the toxins all out of the Eagles offense.
Well, they stopped turning the ball over. I mean, that's number one. But sometimes you can stop turning the ball over, and then you put your head in the sand and you don't do anything aggressive. They're still making aggressive throws, but I mean, the quarterback drops back and throws it 20 times, more than 20 dropbacks. He ran and scrambled a few times, but 20 dropbacks, you have 40 runs. I mean, that's the formula right now. I mean, it's not just in Philadelphia, cuz. Like, that formula is working in a lot of places. In San Francisco, it's working in Baltimore. You'd be surprised at how many teams right now, like Kansas City, is almost 50-50. You'd be surprised at how many teams right now are running it more than they're throwing it.
I mean, look at Detroit. I mean, they scored. They had like 30 on the board, and Goff threw 8 times. It was unbelievable. Now, crazy things happen. But to your point, that's offense. It has come full circle. The fullback is back. Running backs, tandem running backs. How good is Montgomery and Gibbs? I freaking love those two kids. They complement each other perfectly. Or Barkley. Yep. I mean, what's not to love about Saquon?
Right now, after 7 games, the Eagles have run it 240 times. They've dropped back to throw it 192. I mean, look at the ratio right now. And since that bye week and just getting obliterated by Tampa, that's the formula right now. It is, and as long as they continue to run it, Tyler Steen played great, Fred Johnson played great. I mean, the backups play just as well as the starters. So, the way that they're playing right now, you should feed the beast. I mean, Saquon is going to challenge before the end of the season. He might challenge Derrick Henry for the rushing title. I mean, he's got 16 to 1,800 yards, I think, in him right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I love it. I do. Listen, I do think, you always got to be able to throw it, but having a run game back is fun.
Yeah.
Watching guys bust through it, like, not for nothing. You look at the kid Tracy last night for the Giants. Man, that kid played his ass off. If he had any kind of quarterback play, they might have won that game last night.
And so if you just look at Tyrone Tracy last night, their 4th-round pick out of Purdue, the Steelers had not given up a 100-yard rusher all year. Jonathan Taylor got 88 yards. They hadn't given up a run over 21 yards all season. They gave up 3 last night, including a 45-yard touchdown. I mean, this kid, look, and they're playing with a left tackle that is literally the definition of a journeyman, Chris Hubbard. But regardless, and a quarterback that can't really throw deep. So, they just do stupid things, pre-snap penalties, 2-point conversion. Nobody even knows what they're doing. No, it just looked ugly. But that kid kept him in single-handedly, kept him in that game last night.
Yeah, I love watching Najee. Just watching backs. Watching backs run is it's just a fun thing. It
feels like football.
It does feel like football. Breaking through. I mean, it's pretty cool. Hey, so defensively, before we move on to the rest of the league, defensively, man, Mitchell and DeJean, right? Those two kids, they have solidified that back end to like no other. What, and it, Baldy, because we love Iowa defense, and all they do, they play the game smart. They tackle, right? And you saw Cooper make the play on Jamar Chase.
Well, I mean, it's the biggest play of the game, because it was if they make that 4th down, probably Burrow finishes the drive, they score a touchdown. Well, you're in a shootout right there. But Cooper DeJean, and that's not an easy play. In fact, they ran that play last night to Malik Neighbors on 4th down, and they threw the same route. But he got upfield a little bit more than Jamar did. Jamar came, in motion and behind the line, so he was like really catching it. And look, you're trying to run Cooper DeJean if they're in man coverage. You're trying to run him through all that traffic, and he just had the wherewithal, the intelligence, whatever, to not get bumped or rubbed by anybody. And then he makes the open field tackle, and you give the Birds great field position right there. That, and then the Isaiah Rodgers tip on Jamar Chase and, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. They basically, the 4th down stop is a turnover. So it's basically a takeaway. So they get 2 takeaways in the game, and they've been hard to come by, but those were 2 big plays in the game. And Quinyon he's been awesome. Really, since week 1 in Green Bay, his ability to be sticky in coverage, to tackle well, They don't, because they could have had Terry and Arnold. They could have taken any of these corners. They took Quinion, and I think it's going to pay off.
And Arnold's been grabbing. He's become a grabber.
Ow, ow.
Well, it's like, the only reason why anybody gets called for holding or grabs in this league is if you're not in position. If you move your feet and you're in position, Sauce Gardner's doing the same thing in New York. Like, he's becoming a shell of himself. He's grabbing everything. You got to play the game with poise. You got to play your game with feet. You got to stay in phase. And then when it's time to make the play, you make the play. And that's what Rodgers did. Rodgers was in great shape on Jamar. I think Burrow could have put a little more air on it, but he got his eyes back on the ball. He was able to tip it with his left hand, and Chauncey, came from center field and took the ball away.
Hey, let me ask you, Baldy, when you look at the Eagles now won 3 in a row, I thought it was legitimate impressive on Sunday against a team that knows how to win, right? Like, they've been backs against the wall and they've had win streaks before. So you go in, you're facing a great quarterback and a great player in Chase, and it feels like both Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio have steadied that ship, and Sirianni by being a head coach. But the coordinators is the difference from last year to this year, because what you're seeing is, all right, they know how to adapt and kind of work with their personnel and the strengths of their personnel.
Well, I mean, they got the linebacking. Last year, they never had the linebacking core solidified. Right now, Zach Bond and N'Kobe, they've solidified that linebacking core. And it was in doubt to start the season, who was going to be. But they're every down linebackers. They don't come off the field. I think they got a decent defensive line rotation. They kind of figured out Bryce Huff a little bit, what he can, what he can't do. Nolan Smith is showing up a little bit. And then I think they're getting. I mean, I know Slay went out of the game last week, but for the most part, they're playing the 2 rookies in the secondary. They've got a position for Cooper, DeJean. They've got some stability on that side of the ball right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let's take a look at what transpired in the league. My God, Jaden Daniels, man. I mean, he's touched right now. Like, he's got the magic. The kid is wielding the magic a little bit.
So I announced that game, Cuz, and I had a chance to talk to him before the game down the field. First of all, whether it's 2 hours for a kick or whether it's the offseason and you're at, Commanders Park out there in Ashburn, the guy is just so relaxed and so calm. Now he's 6'4", but he is narrow. He's very, very. But I said this to Zach Ertz when I was talking to him. I said, the thing that I feel about Jaden is he's extremely fast, but he's never in a hurry. The guy just has poise. He's as fast as he needs to be. He's extremely sudden, and he's fast twitch as hell. But his ball, like the throw to Terry McLaurin, 61 yards, like the throw is an absolute dime. And he had 6 of those against a good Chicago defense. Now, Chicago played great red zone defense to keep him out. But, just the poise he did on the Hail Mary throw, he held that ball for 12 and a half seconds. He knew he needed time to get the receivers down the field. And so without dropping his eyes, without looking at the rush, he just has a feel. And, he was able to navigate the 3 or 4 rush. TJ Edwards was the spy on him. So technically he was eluding 4 rushers. And then he launched the ball. That will be, that was a comeback and a throw that will stay on his resume forever. There's probably going to be more of them. But I tell you, I've been in that stadium ever since they built that stadium every year. Playoff games, Eagle games, whatever. I've never seen a crowd like that since RFK days. And I've never seen a crowd that not one person left until the very end of that game.
Yeah, it was. How about you could hear them, man? Like they were into it. Like it felt like it's good. Listen, that's a franchise that's good for the NFL if they're back.
No doubt. No question.
Yeah.
I mean, look, they needed that Hail Mary to stay in first place in front of the Eagles, and I think the Birds play them in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
so
Thursday.
I mean, it's a collision. It's a collision course right now. With Washington for first place.
How how good's their listen, I don't know. And Caleb struggled, man. I thought the Washington defense was a little vulnerable. They've actually been buttoned up. Now, I can't tell if it's because of the inexperienced quarterback play. Is that defense getting better, or is it just
Yeah, they're getting better. They're getting better. I mean, Frank Louvu and Bobby Wagner are off the ball inside linebackers. Louvu is he's a hell of a player, man. He has been at the Jets, at Carolina, everywhere he's gone. He loves to play. He's a good pass rusher. He's a good blitzer. They've been really getting home with their blitz quite a bit. This Johnny Newton they drafted out of Illinois he had a Jones fracture in the offseason. He's starting to come on now. They've got Dorrance Armstrong, Dante Fowler. They got some guys that can rush a little bit, but they're playing much better in the back end. They were the worst in the league last year. They're playing a lot better right now in the back end of their defense. Joe Witt, is the defense coordinator. He came from Dallas with Dan Quinn. Like he's a good coach. He's probably going to be in line for a head coach one of these days.
Baldy, we got to talk about Sunday night, man. The the Cowboys are just a mess. And Collinsworth brought this up, and he was right. It also doesn't look like Dak is moving well at all. What do you see on tape for them?
I mean, look, they've got one legitimate star player in CD. You got him back in the game. They threw 5 straight balls to him, 2 for touchdowns. One, they went 70 yards, 3 straight completions to CD. They're in the end zone. They still had a chance to win the game. They had the ball with 3 minutes to go, down 30-24. They couldn't finish it. They're just a poorly built team. I mean, they don't have any. They don't have. I mean, to put Dalvin Cook and Ezekiel Elliott out there in the field is ridiculous. Like all running backs, they all fade away. I mean, nobody plays the game. When it drops off, it drops off. You don't get a renaissance. But that's what they're up. That's what they have. And they just have guys at other positions. So, and if the offense line doesn't play great, Nick Bosa had his way with Terrence Steele, they're very, very vulnerable. They look bad. And defensively, they're 3-4. They've lost 4 games now. In all 4 losses, and that's to New Orleans, to Baltimore, to Detroit, and now San Francisco, they've all run the ball down their throat, including this 4th-round rookie out of Louisville, Isaac Garendo, that pounded them. So, that has not gone away for a while now. I know Micah makes a difference, and Tank Lawrence will make a difference, but their ability to stop the run is still a weakness.
Yeah, I mean, you could cross them off the list as far as contenders, right?
I don't think they are. I think I said it. A lot of us said it in the offseason that they didn't do enough to improve the roster, and it's showing like that. That's why they went out and signed Zeke and Dalvin. But those aren't answers. I mean, Tyrone Tracy Jr. is an answer. That's a 4th-round pick with young legs. He did play 6 years at Purdue, but that's a young guy with fresh legs. That's what you do. You go and you draft yourself a 4th-round pick, and you play him at running back, and you let him grow with the offensive line that you got 2 rookies out there. But you don't put guys that are on their downside of their careers in there right now.
You know what I would try if I were them? I like Turpin. I think he's got a lot of good speed. Like he's one of their few guys who actually has some speed. I would try to get him the ball a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's a returner. He's a gadget player. He's a little guy. I'm not a big fan of little guys because
I'm not either. But Andy likes them. Andy can figure out what to do with little fast guys.
Right. I mean, Xavier Worthy. Let's see how he changes the game right now. He's a hard guy to find down the field. There's a reason why DeAndre Hopkins steps on the field. Big 4th down throw, they go to Hopkins. First throw of the game, they go to Hopkins. I mean, I'd rather have a big power forward than a little power.
I'm with you. I'm a size guy too. But my only point is, as a complementary player, you still need speed. Like Andy always taught you, like you have your big receiver, but you need your speed guy too.
Okay, but they've got Deuce, who's 5'5". They've got Kevontae Turpin, who's 5'7". They've got Cook, who's 5'9". I mean, they just got little guys, man.
Listen, I'm happy they're no good. But my only point is, I look at the speed guy. Look,
I put him firmly in the gadget, category right now.
Yeah,
I think he can help them win a game or 2. I think.
How about let's look at teams coming from the outside, right? Because we're at the middle part of the season. Niners, Rams, like Rams are starting to get healthy. The Niners will get healthy. You put anybody else in that category?
Well, I mean, the Rams, you have to consider the Rams. I mean, because they were a second-half team last year. Kyron Williams is a beast. They just got Puka back. They got Cooper back. They've got a rookie. They've got a rookie center. They've got a rookie free agent left guard. But damn it, they coach those guys up. And, they played really well last Thursday night. And Stafford could throw it with the best of them. And look, they've got four defensive linemen that are all under 23 years of age. And they're all good. Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Jared Verse. I mean, they all could play. Braden Fisk. So they're only going to get better and better right now.
Yeah, I like Verse. We talked about him last year during the draft. I like him a lot. Florida State, like he's terrific.
He's long and powerful. But I like those guys. Look, who else could come out of the dark? I thought Jacksonville would upset Green Bay last week. They came close. You're going to see a very good offense this week at the Link. Don't look at the record. Don't look at. I mean, right now
they need Brian Thomas though. He's hurt and he's got to play because I love that Brian Thomas. Yeah,
is he hurt?
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
They need him to play. He's questionable now, but we'll see later in the week. He's a stud.
He is unbelievably. He's been the best rookie receiver out there. He was the fourth receiver taken, but he's a smooth cat, man. He runs by everybody.
I'm with you. How about Seattle? You could cross Seattle off. I mean, the Bills went in there and smashed them. Yeah,
they did. I mean, look, not having DK makes a difference. Defensively, they have not been strong. It's not an easy defense to learn, and so Buffalo had their way. But Josh played great. He just played great. The touchdown to Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah,
I don't know how he found him in the scramble, but he did. The offense just makes so much sense right now, and they've started the same five offensive linemen now. For every game, and they're good. They're really good. They're well coached by Aaron Cromer. They're going to be a problem. They're going to run away with the AFC East, so they're going to get a bye in a home playoff game probably, and so it probably is a collision course with them in Kansas City at some point.
Yeah, I mean it's freedom. It's a 3-team conference with Baltimore. It's got that.
The only thing I'd say is, look, Baltimore and Pittsburgh are going to on a collision course right now. Pittsburgh's in first place right now. But the way Cleveland played last week, I know they're deep into the crypt. But the way they played last week, they could beat anybody in the league.
James.
Their offensive line is healthy. Nick Chubb is just his second game back. He's only going to get stronger. Jameis didn't miss a throw. In the defensively, if they ever get a chance to play with the lead, God bless your quarterback.
Yeah.
Baldy, you saw the Anthony Richardson stuff. Have you seen anything like this ever where after one play of scrambling, he needs to sit out because he's tired?
He took himself out of the game. He's a freaking quarterback.
I was so upset by it. I posted it, and I posted him tapping himself out. I don't care. Quarterbacks get hurt. I mean, we've seen Patrick Mahomes play with a broken ankle practically. I play with a broken ankle. I'm not here to say that Jack Youngblood played in the Super Bowl with a broken ankle.
Hey, Donovan McNabb played with a broken foot.
Donovan did. Okay, so that's that. But quarterbacks, you could get tired, you could get hurt. You don't tap out. If the trainer says you got to come out, concussion, you've got a torn abdomen, whatever it is. Okay, the doctor takes you out. You don't tap yourself out. You just and then when he says, "Well, I'm just so tired," all right, well, get your ass in shape.
No, that was a mortal sin. It was a disgrace to the position. Yeah. It really was. You're the head coach. You're going to be like, are you freaking back in the game?
Because it's a disgrace to the 105-year history of the game.
It is. One of the worst things. I'm glad you said. First of all, I'm glad you posted it. I saw it.
Yeah.
And
it's over 2 million
I was
views.
as upset by it as you were. What a freaking disgrace.
There's I said the act of tapping yourself out at quarterback is indefensible. It's like you can lay down on the ground and say, I got an injury, and have some trainer come out. There's ways to couch it, but you don't tap yourself out.
Exactly. Stay down on the field. Get your breath.
Right.
All right? Act like you're hurt. Give me a break.
Audible to a run play. Just catch your breath.
Oh,
It's
my
not
God.
okay.
Respect for the game.
It's not okay. It is not okay.
No, it's not. All right, last thing. So, the brain, we have the Brad on that does all the picks, right? He went to a Halloween party.
Oh, I was going to ask him this.
Yeah, right? Now, the brain's got the dime, right? Like, you're a man of dimes. You're a man of beautiful women. And the brain has, beautiful fiance. She got him to dress up like Beauty and the Beast. But he was the beauty, Baldy, right there in the yellow dress.
Yeah.
Now, is there any circumstance, Giselle, I don't know, pick your supermodel of choice that would get you to dress up like that?
No, I don't care. I'm not. Sophia Loren. You pick a starlet. I'm not doing it. Never would do it. I don't care if I was 6 years old or if I was 30, taking kids out trick or treating. I'm not doing it. It's violation.
Have you ever done a couple's costume at all?
No. I don't No. I mean, I look. If I went to Venice, I might put a mask on. If I was going to, one of the, one
Carnival,
of those festivals
you put a mask on.
Yeah, maybe put a mask on. That's it, man.
You'd be like
I'll
Zorro.
roll a pack of cigarettes up in a t-shirt and go as
I knew it. I had to bring it up. I knew it.
Hey, man, you had to dress up at some point. Is there some costume that you love?
Were you guys when you were kids?
Yeah.
Here's this Baldy as a kid with his brothers. All right.
Yeah.
They would grab their football jersey. They would put eye black, and they would grab a pillowcase from their mom's thing, and then go out and hawk candy from the whole neighborhood.
I still use a pillowcase as a gym bag. I still don't own a gym bag. I just throw everything in a pillow.
Right?
He's like 10 years old. I want to be the dude from On the Waterfront. Stella.
Oh, yeah.
Marlon. I want to be Marlon Brando from On the Waterfront.
Oh, he's sweet. Hey, what are you? I'm a football player.
Put a few sugar packs in your cheeks, and that's what Marlon did. For The Godfather, to do the same thing. You do that.
Yeah. Perfect. That's why you're the best, brother. We love
buddy.
you.
See you, man.
He's the man. He's Baldy. One the only.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, but my man Boo watching. Boo's watching from Cancun right now.
What?
I just said Baldy. Because he is a spirit animal.
Everything about him is just so many layers.
Yes.
It's like a blooming onion. Just pick these layers. It gets deeper and more interesting and fascinating.
But he never would dress up like the brain. God bless the brain, right?
I wouldn't either. Yeah, God bless the brain. He's more evolved than I am, maybe. I would just not do that.
Well, I would either. But listen, we've all done, our wives ask us to do something.
Yeah. I've been
but the brain's different, right? Because the brain, he's got the young girl in his arm.
Yeah, that's part of what comes
right?
along with
but
that.
But Baldy doesn't care.
No.
The hard no.
Hard no.
It wasn't hard. You're right.
Yeah.
In phrase, you're right. I mean, that was it.
Yeah. Got to respect it.
That's it.
Stands his ground. I love it.
That's it. All right. We got lots to get to. Vinny Curry. I love Vinny.
Yeah. Chat's all excited for Vinny showing up.
Yeah, Vinny's the man. We're going to talk to Vinny coming up. Vinny's a good name. My man Vinny's watching. Vinny Protaro's watching right now.
Nice.
All the Vinnies are out there. Probably where's Pellegrini at?
I saw
Pellegrini's
him
in here. Yeah, he's in the chat.
He's in the chat?
Yeah.
Vinny?
It's a Vinny chat.
It is a Vinny chat. I like it. All right. Let's talk about Parks Casino, Street Road Bend, Salem. This is, we always tell you about it, the mecca of entertainment. So get ready. Here you go. Are you good? Because I'm going to give you the axe.
Yeah, I think we're
Because
ready.
the Excite Center at Parks Casino is one of the best things going. The best places to watch. 1,500 seat Excite Center, place to watch your favorite comedians, hear your favorite acts. Here you go. Coming. Just announced. Look at this. Tickets on sale. Comedian Ron White
Oh,
All
all right.
That's
Yeah.
March
Yeah.
21st.
Like it.
He's funny.
That's a good one.
How about this? Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains.
Oh, man. a new one.
February 8th.
I'm the man
In the box.
Yeah, man.
You know who might be there? Zach Wheeler. His walk-up song is The Rooster.
Yes, that's right. Actor Richard Kind from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Love him.
Oh,
So
nice.
January 24th.
Nice.
Oh, the headliners in parks. Ridiculous. November 1st, Invincible, a tribute to Michael Jackson.
And though you fight to stay alive, your body starts to shiver, for no mere mortal can resist the evil of the thriller.
I like it. November 14th, Ezra Ray Hart, lead singers from Sugar Ray, Bennett and Ezra and Tonic join together for an incredible night.
If you could only see the way she loves me, maybe you'd understand.
Little Joey Marone over here.
He's like, what's going
He's
on?
like, are
guy.
you kidding me with these two? November 16th, Brett Michaels.
Don't need nothing but a good time. How can I resist?
December 14th, comedian Eric D'Alessandro. And hey, by the way, enjoy dinner, drinks before the show. Liberty Bell Gastro Pub, Parks Grill Steakhouse, Bamboo Noodle House. Get the
Noodles.
soup. ParksCasino.com. Buy tickets for all shows. Parks Casino, this is how you win. You got to be 21. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Now, let's talk about Rothman. We had all of our doctors, man.
Dude, Rothman saved my life. I had a broken neck. They took me to a trauma center, and the Rothman guy was there, hooked me up.
They are fantastic. Every Friday, we get to visit with our favorite doctors from Rothman, who are terrific. We had Dr. Salvo on. In fact, I heard from him on Sunday.
Did you?
Yeah, what a great
Wow.
family. His father, of course, Dr. Salvo, who would treat everybody in South Philly. He was fantastic. Listen, you got joints aching, you got hands cramping, you're back out of whack, Frazier. Rothman's got you at Rothman Orthopedics. Practicing specialized care has been their passion for over 50 years. That's right. High quality, compassionate, affordable care rooted in research has been their mission. Research leading to new treatments, better outcomes. Each Rothman doctor is laser focused on their specialty. Hip, knee, spine, you name it. They have a team for each body part right in your backyard so you can cross over the defense, drain those jump shots, root for our teams like no other fans in the country. They are Rothman Orthopedics, and they specialize in you. That's right. RothmanOrtho.com to make it an appointment. Again, visit RothmanOrtho.com/PHLY to learn more and to make an appointment today. So we love that. This portion of the program is brought to you by TrueMark Financial Credit Union, TrueMark.com/PHLY. Now, joining us, I love him. He is a natural. You see him break stuff down?
Yeah.
He's also fun.
Yeah, informative, funny.
I have to say, Vinny's.
He's a guy you want to have a beer with.
Yes. Vinny's a good name.
Yeah.
All Vinny's are lovable. Let's go to our man, Vinny Curry, right now. Yo, Vin!
Hey.
Yo, what's up, fellas? What's up, fellas?
Dude, let me tell you, you are fantastic. You break it down. So not only of course you're a great football man, but you got such a great personality, like you always have. Like the minute you want to hang with you and just hang out and watch games.
Man, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me on your show.
Hey, is he in a wine cellar? I got some Moet back there. What's going on?
Oh, yeah, my little getaway, yeah.
Wow.
Yo, cuz.
That is awesome.
Are you kidding me? Well, I was talking about you earlier. I go, first of all, I need to take my little Massimo over your house because your backyard is outrageous. You got your quarterback, all right? I got my quarterback. We got to get the quarterbacks together.
Yo, let me know, man. We definitely have a session over here. We get a couple quarterback coaches out here while they do their thing. You know, listen, I can't grill, so if you know how to grill, I'll provide the food and you just cook it.
Listen, I'll do the cooking. Don't worry about it. We're covered.
You bring your primos over. You're not grilling.
No, I'll make pasta.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'll make the pasta. We'll have a big dinner after. We got the wine in it. Look at the wine over there. We're set up. How old's your little guy again?
Oh, he's 7.
You should see him.
He's 7.
What?
He's got a rope. He's got a rope, right? My Massimo's 11, right? So the two of them, I'm 9. His little guy moves around as fast as all get out. He'll stop, and all of a sudden, rope. Classic, man. Classic.
He definitely throw dimes.
Yeah. Isn't it? There's something, I love it. We had a game Sunday in Pennsauken, and I love it. There's nothing better. It's so much fun watching your kid play.
Oh, man. We had a big game this Saturday. I'm trying to figure out, was I more excited than that than in a real playoff game? I was just like, damn, just to see the joy and excitement on your kid's face is not like it.
It's the truth, man. You're spot on. So let's go, Birds. What are you seeing from Fangio? Because it feels like Fangio has gotten them buttoned up.
Man, well, you gotta understand something. You know how this go. He was getting a good feel for everybody. Now what you're seeing is he know what it takes. Like if you do this good, do that good, putting everybody in the spot to succeed at. And guys are just doing it to the best of ability, and everything is finally clicking. So it's just crazy because we was talking about in the studio that we wanted to see this like 4 weeks ago, but now we starting to see it. And everybody's like, do we clap? Do we get excited yet now? No, hell yeah, get excited. It is just coming together right now, right? Just in time for November, baby.
Listen, that's when you're supposed to be arcing toward November to play your best football. That was Andy, right? That was always a message that we want to get to November, and that's when it starts for real.
I'm telling you, man, and for them to be gelling right now going into November, bro, I'm excited for them. It feel like I'm playing, watching them. You start to feel the passion and the energy, and they're playing with a hell of effort through the screen, and that's what we've been looking for these last couple of weeks. So we're finally seeing it, and it's just like what the artists call it now. It's like like fine art. You know what I mean? And we loving it.
You know what? What's interesting too is the kids in the secondary, right? Watching Keenan Mitchell, so polished, right? Like he's a legitimate, fantastic shutdown outside corner. And then Cooper DeJean comes in and look at the play he makes on Jamar Chase, right? You got that Iowa, we're going to tackle, we're going to play the game the way we were supposed to, we're going to be in position. And I think those two kids, first of all, how we got them right, but they've added so much to that back end.
Oh, man, they've been playing out of their mind, and just to be that young and for, the organization to trust and lean on those guys like that says a lot about them as they play, their character, and energy is contagious. If you go back to that play, Brandon Graham makes the big play, and Coop comes over, he make his big play, and that thing from there was just like, well, here it go. And I was saying it in the studio, like, yo, that was a huge play, more than what y'all envisioned. You know what I mean? So just to see them, and they just when it rains, it pours, and it just kept pouring.
So what do you see from the front?
Oh, I see those guys attacking. I see them guys hunting. They're attacking. They're figuring it out. Early in the season, you seen guys getting double teamed. Some guys were hit or miss. Rather rushing and stuff. Now I just see guys just going. Understanding the secondary and the front four, that kind of correlates, and I don't want to leave our linebacker core out because they playing it out of their mind and really, really fast and playing downhill as well. It just goes to show you how much time and effort collectively from the coaching staff and the players are really buying into this, and for them to be gelling right now going into November, we can't ask for nothing more, but to keep this thing going.
What's Nolan Smith done to make it that improvement? What have you seen? Because you see him now, he's popping, man.
Popping, baby.
Popping.
And I've been saying it for a couple of weeks now.
I know you have.
Yo, he was getting so close earlier. I said he about to figure it out. They about to figure it out. Did you see the one sack this weekend? Oh my God, he dipped
Yeah.
right on the cue. He went to go punch the dude, just missed and punched the air in that sack. Like that was crazy. Even the takeoff, get off was insane. Man, I'm so happy for that kid. You know, he's finally gelling. He's finally coming around, and it's coming together as a group. You know, that whole front four is kind of turning that curve. But I also want to commend, like I said, the linebacker play. You know, the Kobe Dean, man, he's playing some good football right now.
He is. He's playing real good. And listen, I saw the tape the other last night, and man, that kid in the middle, Jalen Carter, is getting
Awesome.
doubled and tripled. And you know what's amazing with him? You watch him; he annihilates people. He may not like we expect all these splash plays. I was watching
Right.
tape last night. I'm going, oh my God, he just crushes people. He's ridiculous. He's
And that's so when you think about Philadelphia defense, you think about getting your ass kicked. And that's what he do down in and down out. If he's not even close to the quarterback, he's kicking somebody's ass though. But you know what I mean? That's the beauty about, the eye in the sky don't lie. When you go back and watch the film, you're like, God damn, he hip tossed him like that.
yes.
You know? And then you see so now watching the film, he always try to get cheap shotted. Like they try to cheap shot and then they want him to react. Like, yo, my man, like, come on, you know what I'm saying? You're Rob Peter to pay Paul. Like, you're picking your poison. You don't poke a bear, man.
I love it.
Yeah, the way that the defense is gelling and these players are maturing. You've had different coaches. Is this just like a natural progression in time frame for like a new coach, a new system? Does it take 5, 6, 7 games for people to start feeling where they go and how everyone else is reacting?
I mean, when you this young, yes, I would say so. When you this young, the last time when we was young, we had got Chip, and then with Billy Davis. Remember, we was giving up. Chip was scoring points, but remember, we was giving up damn man points as well.
Yeah, well, you wilted on the field.
Yeah,
like I mean, I felt bad for Billy. Like I remember talking to Billy. He's like, like, what do you want me to do? Like my guys are on the field constantly.
Yeah. You got to figure it out though, and as a player, you're like, damn. At that time, it was all about conditioning and really, really taking care of the body. You was on the field so much, but I will go to say this: them guys really, bought into Coach Vic's system and really wanted to understand how it fits them individually and how can they come together collectively. And it's working, man. And that goes to show you the preparation, that they're taking upon themselves as professionals to try to get this thing done.
Hey, speaking of taking care of yourself, I have to bring this up to you because to me, it was the worst story from Sunday. And since we both got kids that want to be quarterbacks, Anthony Richardson taking himself out of the game because he's tired. Like, what are you kidding? Like, what would you say what's your messaging to your son about that?
Yo, so I'm glad you said that because Jalen Hurts killed it on Sunday. Killed it. Now, that's so imagine if he did that. The city would be on fire right now. Yeah, exactly.
Crush him. And here's the thing about Jalen, right? Forget about what you think of him and how good he is, whatever. The one thing he's a coach's kid. He would never have to think about something like that.
At all. He got grit, toughness, leadership. Man, that was baffled. I was like, he said what? He didn't even take how you take the helmet off and say, oh, my pull something, and then maybe God damn.
I like at least stay on the field. Like get on the field, fall down, right? Right. You need to catch your breath. He just took himself out of the game, sat on the bench.
When I saw that, I immediately thought of Joe Flacco. I say, oh yeah, this is why they called for him. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. Like, I can't see nobody taking themselves out the game. Even if you want to teach the players do like this, and if it's crushing, they're like, You know, like they're going to suck it up. That was crazy.
I know. It was insane.
He like owned it at the press conference too. He was like, "Oh, I was tired." Like,
Yeah,
it's
he said,
fine.
I think
Like
I
it was
tired.
normal. Like it was normal.
You're tired. What? Unbelievable. But the offense, meanwhile, Barkley, Vin, watching Barkley, what makes him so hard to stop, right? Like,
Listen, Will don't want to. Will don't want to. You hear him talk, you hear him do his interviews, you hear him talk about the game. That's somebody that's passionate about his craft and take it very, very seriously. You know, when we was playing him, man, that his Will and want to. Like, he wants to punish you. He wants to
yeah.
get in the end zone every single time. You ever see somebody get in scot-free, you ain't tackling him just if it's you and him in the phone booth, so you better get, you know what I mean, bring every ounce of weight you got with you because his Will and want to was crazy. He fits right into, the city of Philadelphia, you know what I mean? And he's adapting very well.
You know, and he's such a classy dude. Like, he's such a regal, prince. Like, he's got that feel about him, man. He's a winner. He just plays it the right way, acts the right way, everything about him.
Man, I'm telling you, brother, hell of a dude, man, hell of a dude. A great addition. I want to say overall, it might be the best free agent signing of the whole league.
Yeah.
This offseason.
Hey, do you watch a lot of college football?
Yes.
I'm curious what you think. Ohio State, Penn State. Big game for the Nets. This is the game for them. They've circled it all year long, right? They're a 3.5 point underdog.
I think Penn State get them, man.
Do you?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. You like the Nets?
I think Penn State get them. I think it's going to be a hard-fought game. I'm curious to see if one of those teams can beat Indiana. Me personally, I'm just in the cup watching from afar. Just
by
peeking.
the way, Indiana's coached really well.
Really well. Disciplined football. Disciplined football with athletes, you go a long way on the college level.
No, you're spot on. What they did to Nebraska, because I'm a big Matty Rule guy, and it was 52-7, where it was, they crushed them. That coach, he talked from the beginning. Like, he said, listen, we're going to be really good. You watch out. The whole league better watch out. And man, I got to tell your boys, they've had a great season.
Yeah, they have a really good season, but back to that Penn State, Ohio State. I can't wait to watch that one.
I know. It's going to be fun. It's good. My man, all football, kids, youth football, college, and of course the NFL. Freaking Vin's the best.
And the bubbly. Is that all bubbly behind you? No wine, just straight bubbly?
Yeah, no, we got some wine over here.
Oh, man.
I want to be locked in that room.
Yeah. We're going to hang out.
What do you do? Now, what are you going to do? What do kids do for Halloween? What are you going to be doing?
Giving out candy, going trick-or-treat. I'm probably going to fill my pickup truck with some hay, ride around the neighborhood and, go trick-or-treating for a little bit. My daughter turns 5 years old on the 1st, so I also got to plan the birthday party.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's great. It's fantastic.
What do you give out? What kind of candy are you giving out?
You got to get a king-size candy out, giving out all king-size.
He's a sport. Vinny's a sport. You kidding me? It's exactly what I expect. Dude,
you
you're the greatest, man.
About when they need to. Did you see that house? He gave up the king-size ones. Now you need to talk about when you got back to school.
We got to go to Vinny's house. Vin, God love you. You're the best, buddy. You really are.
Thank you guys, man. Thank you guys for having me.
We love you. I'm going to be bugging you all the time, man. All right? And I'm bringing the boys over. We're hanging out.
Let me know.
All right. Thanks, Vin.
All right.
The great Vinny Curry. He's fantastic.
Awesome.
Incredible.
Yeah, awesome.
All right. We got some nugs.
Yeah, we could do some nugs. We got popping around.
We have a back in the day moment.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I was about to hit the back in the day, but I know we're going to do nugs first. What is our... Well, let's go back in the day since we're there. Let's do it.
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with Rite Aid. Yeah!
So when VG did this ditty, I can't get it out of my head.
Oh, same. It's been
Right.
It's
We're
been
going
haunting me
back in the day with Rite Aid.
for 2 weeks.
What do we got?
What do we got? Well, we got, since this weekend, we're going back to the Kelly Greens. We have a great photo of one Buddy Ryan.
Look at
Wow, look at
that
that suit.
Look at that, dude.
That's a great sweatsuit.
The South Philly Tux.
Yeah, it's almost like, I guess it's a jacket or a sweater? It's wild.
It looks like it's a sweatsuit, right?
Yeah.
No, maybe
he's got
not.
like the
I don't
coach's
know.
pants
You're right.
on.
He's got the green pants.
Coach's pants.
Oh my God! Look at that.
Everyone
I
behind
want that
us,
as a sweatsuit.
everyone behind us got the green pants. It must have been the whole coaching staff's got the green pants on.
That's right. The
a
green
good
coach
look,
of
man.
it. But that is a great That is a great. That is awesome.
Yeah. It's like two of my favorites, Kelly Green and Buddy.
Do you remember the coach's shorts?
Yo, yeah, super
like-
tight.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
God. And the way the waist was, it was weird.
Everything was just packed in there.
And it was
all-
high.
Yeah,
Like
yes.
you couldn't wear them normal.
The shirt all tucked in.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Yeah, they were
classic.
weird.
That's a great back in the day
Yeah.
for the Kelly Green week.
Do you guys like the new Kelly Greens? I know they're the old Kelly Greens, but do you like how they're bringing
I
them
do.
back?
I love
Yeah.
it.
They do it for the 2 games.
I love it. I think the Kelly Greens is still my favorite.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Same here.
I think one of the nugs I was going to do is just the throwbacks in general, the 70s. The Bucks wore the creamsicles. I love the creamsicles, man. And the Broncos had theirs out. The Oilers, the Seahawks.
The Oilers, the powder blue
Man, they're so
with Earl
good.
Campbell,
Yeah.
Dan Pastorini.
That was the height of football uniforms, the 70s, I
Who was the
think.
receiver? Ernest Givens.
No. Dan Pastorini.
You remember him?
Yeah. They had a good
Here,
offensive
the,
Wow,
line.
look at
the
that.
creamsicles.
Yeah, dude.
Look at that.
They
yeah.
are nice.
That's so much better than the red and black.
That's way better.
Yeah, it's unique.
It is it's way better.
Feels like Florida.
Actually, you know what it
Feels
looks like?
Florida.
Looks like Tennessee.
Yeah. Yeah.
Looks like that's a good orange.
Orange is strong. There's a statue going around of Dwayne Wade. It's a little.
That might be the worst statue
I've seen it.
in the histories of statues.
Sculptors were defending the actual work they did, but the memes going around about it are just hysterical. If you just do
It's horrible looking.
a Twitter search,
It's
of,
frightening. It's good for Halloween.
here's it.
Look at that thing.
They got him turned into Morpheus.
Like, that does not look like him at all.
No, it does. It looks like Morpheus.
No.
Oh my God. No, that statue is scary.
Yeah.
It's ugly scary.
It's like a horror face.
It is.
Like you would see
It's
someone
like he's the
making...
Candyman statue.
Yeah, you get
I
like
didn't even-
chopped up.
When the story broke, I didn't even know what people were talking about. I was like, that's an actual statue they made of him.
That's terrible.
Your boy in Orlando last night had a big night. Paolo Banchero.
I know. I love him.
Woo! So
He had 50 points.
He bought 50 points, 13 rebounds, and 9 assists. And he's the youngest player in NBA to do that. But the only other players who have ever put up these numbers are Wilt, Elgin Baylor, Kareem, Westbrook, Harden, and Doncic.
I'm a weird box score. So I
Yeah.
always look at box scores. So he had 37 at halftime.
Wow. At half.
At halftime, Paolo. I love him. Play Italian, right?
Yeah.
He played. So he had 37 at halftime. And I'm going, wow. So I checked back and he had a little, they swarmed him second half. It was good. I mean, he's a terrific.
stud.
He's strong, man.
Yeah, there's
He's got strong hands. He goes up to the basket strong.
there's a lot of good young basketball players right now in the NBA.
I will say this. Speaking of NBA, we finally get Paul George tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Can't
So I'm
wait.
looking forward to it.
Max has
Excited.
got to be the happiest guy in the world right now just to get some help.
Oh my God. They were running 2 and 3 guys at him.
We got
Talking about getting blitzed.
Flyboy's got the Bruins tonight, right?
Yes. What do you think? Pasta? They got to stop
I
Pasta.
hate the Bruins. I may just take
I hate the
I may
Bruins.
just take a money line just for the heck of it. Spite bet.
Listen, as long listen, you need Ersan to play tonight.
Yeah. Oh, How about the young kid? Wait a minute. There's a young kid, dude. What is his name?
Kolosov?
No.
What?
Zavgravin. He's playing
the other Russian kid?
KHL?
Yeah.
He's 19. His stats right now are ridiculous.
Yeah, he could be the truth.
Yeah.
His could
save
be
percentage is like 93%.
Yeah, he actually is a legit prospect.
Playing with men.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's actually a legit prospect.
I think he's like 6-0 with a shutout or two.
Well, the Flyers have the worst goals against
all
in the entire NHL.
Yep.
All right, what's all right? Keep Pasta off the board.
Flyers money line tonight.
I hate the Bruins.
Yeah.
Look at that. I like it. All right, that's going to do it for us to end the show. There you go. Listen, guys, thanks for hanging. We love you. All right. Have a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. See you then.
We all silly like the mayor.